You want to know the truth? I never thought I'd end up the hero in a story like this. I just wanted a quiet corner of the world. 2 acres, no HOA, no rules about what color my mailbox should be or how long my grass could grow. Just silence, cedar trees, and a piece of land I could finally call my own after 10 years of chaos bouncing between war zones nobody back home could even pronounce. I figured I'd paid my dues in noise. What I needed now was peace, the kind that lets you breathe, you know what I mean. Turns out, peace is always more expensive than you think. My lot sat right up against Silver Rock Heights, one of those neighborhoods where every house looks like it was stamped out of a catalog. Plastic perfection, cookie-cutter lawns, and a homeowners association that ran the place with the kind of control the Vatican could only dream about. But I did my homework, double-checked the maps, got my lawyer to confirm. My land was outside their little fiefdom. Their power stopped at the property line. Or so I thought. We broke ground on a Monday. Permits signed, fence stakes hammered in, my crew ready to roll. Miguel, my foreman, had worked beside me since Afghanistan. Solid guy, never once cracked under pressure. I figured if we could get through that, building a house in Texas should be a cakewalk. Yeah, that was naive. Day 3, in comes trouble. Silver SUV crunches up my drive like it owns the gravel. Out pops a woman in tennis shoes too clean to have seen a real trail and a clipboard gripped like a weapon. "Excuse me," she called, like she was the principal and I'd been caught smoking in the bathroom. She didn't even flinch when I told her this was private land, not HOA territory. Just flipped a page and started reciting visual standards. Complained my porta potty was visible, my fencing wasn't up to code, my cinder blocks clashed with the neighborhood aesthetic. You ever met someone so entitled you feel like you're hallucinating? That was Karen Langston, president of the HOA and apparently queen of Silver Rock. I told her flat out, "Not your jurisdiction, lady. Got the deed, got the permits, and I'm not backing down." She gave me one of those tight little smiles and said, "You'll regret being uncooperative. You're not the only one who cares about how this community looks." And then she turned and left, just like that, like she hadn't just threatened war. Miguel whistled from the trench. "Boss, welcome to the neighborhood." Didn't take long for things to escalate. I went home that night, ordered trail cameras and solar spotlights. Figured, you don't have to be paranoid, just prepared. Friday morning, I roll up, and the whole site is trashed. Foundation strings cut, rebar twisted, cinder blocks knocked over, formwork kicked apart, like someone wanted to send a message, but didn't want to get caught on camera. Problem was, my shiny new trail cams hadn't even started recording yet. Sheriff comes, takes pictures, shrugs. No witnesses, no footage, not much they could do except document the incident. As if paperwork ever fixed anything. And then, like clockwork, I find a stop work notice taped to my windshield, thanks to an anonymous complaint to the city. I called the number. The lady on the other end practically apologized, but rules were rules. They had to check out community compliance. You know who flagged me. I didn't even need to say her name. We patched what we could, locked up, and then Miguel handed me a piece of paper he'd found by the tool chest. "Construction is dangerous. People get hurt. Better quit now." No envelope. No signature. Just a threat, cold and quiet. That night, I didn't sleep. I checked every perimeter, rigged backup batteries on the cameras, doubled the motion alerts. I'd been threatened before, but never over the right to pour a driveway. Karen showed up again the next day, walking this time, dressed like she was headed to Pilates, syrup-sweet voice asking if everything's going all right. I stared her down, didn't say a word. She just smiled wider and strolled off, as if she hadn't just orchestrated a drive-by of intimidation. That's when I called my lawyer and told him to start prepping paperwork. This was going to get uglier before it got better. 2 nights later, I get a motion alert on my phone at 2:15 a.m. Check the feed, and there they were. 6 guys moving through the dark, no lights, big shoulders, tools in hand. I was out the door and in my truck in 30 seconds, field jacket on, pistol locked under the seat. Didn't want trouble, just needed to make sure my project didn't turn into a crime scene. I got to the site and saw Miguel. He'd come by for a night check and ended up cornered by these goons. One of them in his face, another smashing up my generator, a third pouring cement mix into my drainage trench. I hit the floodlight, called out, told them they had 10 seconds to get gone. The biggest one turned, full of tattoos and attitude, barking, "Who the hell are you?" I told him I was the owner and the guy who'd already called the cops. He didn't care, lunged right at me. Marine training kicked in, and I slammed him into my truck hood, hard. He didn't stay down. His buddies started backing off, but Baldy, that was the nickname I gave him, kept coming, until Miguel swung a shovel and dropped him for good. Sirens showed up 3 minutes later. Sheriff's deputies cuffed the ones still on site, found their tools, their burner phones, and one of the men started singing fast. "She told us to scare you," he said. "Said you were building illegally, paid us cash." "Who's she?" Deputy asks. I just nodded. You can guess. By dawn, I had video footage, statements, everything tying the attack right back to Karen Langston and her little suburban mafia. But I wasn't celebrating. Couldn't. I sat on the tailgate with a thermos of coffee and a baseball bat, listening to the wind, thinking, this isn't over. Not by a mile. Next morning, I called in backup, not the kind with badges, but brothers from my old unit. Eric Ox Sandoval showed up first, big as a bear and twice as mean-looking, runs a gym now, but still built for trouble. Joe Bennett, sniper with ice in his veins, and Tyler Cruz, our gadget guy, rolled in with a pickup full of surveillance gear. Within hours, we had the place ringed with cameras, motion sensors, floodlights, and, at Ox's suggestion, a tripwire flare just to make the next trespasser think twice. That same night, they came back, this time in a white van, all shadowy and smug. But before they got close, Tyler's drone tagged them. The perimeter lit up, and my friend stepped out like the Marines we used to be. Baldy was there again, looking like he'd tangled with a freight train and lost. He tried to puff up, but as soon as Ox cracked his knuckles, confidence evaporated. Miguel came up behind them with a flashlight and a camera. The guys crumbled fast, begging, blaming the HOA lady, finally blurting her name. Cops rolled in again, faster this time. 3 guys on their knees, hands on their heads, the rest crying or trying to hide. Karen's little intimidation squad. Out of business. After that, it was all paperwork and payback. My lawyer, Sandra, built the case like she was prepping for a Normandy landing. Criminal charges against the thugs, civil suit against Karen and the HOA. When the evidence dropped, emails, bank transfers, burner phone logs, one of the henchmen flipping on Karen in court. It was open and shut. The judge was no nonsense, called it organized sabotage. Baldy got a year in county, the others probation, restitution, and records that would follow them forever. Karen? She was found personally liable, fined, banned from the board, and ordered to make a public apology. HOA audited, new rules, the works. You'd think that would be the end, right? But real closure is messy. 3 weeks after the verdict, we're back building. No more threats, no more drama, just sawdust and hammers and the kind of hard work you can actually be proud of. One morning, a neighbor I'd never met before showed up with banana bread and a shy thanks. Said her whole street was rooting for me. Turns out, a lot of folks were just waiting for someone to stand up to the bullies. Tyler and Joe eventually left, lives to get back to. Ox stuck around another week, just to make sure the concrete set right. When he finally left, he gave me a sign. Private property. Trespassers will be shot. Survivors will be sued. I stuck it right by the gate. Months later, Karen's apology was the highlight of the HOA's annual meeting. She looked 10 years older, voice trembling as she admitted she'd let power go to her head. Some folks clapped, others just shook their heads. As I left, an old man handed me a lemonade and told me to let him know you're that Marine from Lot 42, if anyone tried to hassle me again. Noted, I said. And that's how it ends. The house is almost done now. Miguel and I sit on the roof some nights, looking out over the land, drinking Topo Chico, just soaking in the quiet. No more fear, no more fights. Just peace, the kind you fight for and earn. Sometimes, yeah, I wonder if it was worth it. Then I remember what silence really costs. And I think, hell yeah. But tell me, was I right to fight this hard for a little piece of ground? Or did I just turn into the thing I hated most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear where you stand. Because sometimes the line between neighbor and enemy is just one fence away.